Have you ever found yourself opening a chocolate bar, thinking it was just a harmless treat, and suddenly wondered, what if something inside is harming my body without me realizing it? Think about that for a moment. You're at the supermarket, looking for that familiar wrapper that's been with you since childhood, the same one your grandmother used to give you, or that you put in your grandchild's lunchbox. What if I told you that just one square of that chocolate could contain enough heavy metals to affect your brain, bones, and kidneys, without you feeling a thing? I am Dr. Ana Laura. After 23 years of helping patients identify hidden dangers in the foods we consume daily, I felt it was time to open everyone's eyes to something that can completely change the way you look at the chocolate aisle. Right now, millions of Americans are ingesting dangerous levels of heavy metals in their favorite bars without even suspecting it. And the most alarming thing, the companies know about it. Recently, Consumer Reports issued a serious warning. Some of the most popular chocolate brands are exceeding safety limits for lead and cadmium by more than double. I'm not talking about obscure imported brands, but those that are probably in your pantry right now. The ones you bought yesterday or plan to give as a gift this Halloween. If you're watching this video and this worries you, write it in the comments. If you think I'm exaggerating, write 0. What I'm about to reveal will make you think twice before taking your next bite. Before we show you the 5 most concerning chocolate brands, tell me, where are you watching from? Put your location in the comments, and please click subscribe and turn on notifications. The information I'm sharing today could literally save your family years of exposure to hidden toxic substances. Let's start our list with number 5. But wait until we get to number 1, the brand that gained fame as poison wrapped in gold, and that you've probably given as a Christmas gift. Number 5, Tony's Choconal. Sometimes the best intentions can go very wrong. Meet Margaret, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. She decided to buy Tony's Choconal because she wanted to support an ethical chocolate, with bright packaging and a mission that makes you feel good. She thought she was making the right choice. But in February 2024, something unexpected happened. Margaret took her first bite of her Tony's bar and felt something break. It wasn't nuts, nor sugar crystals. It was a real rock, so hard it broke one of her teeth. Tony's promotes itself as a conscious chocolate, fair trade, ethical sourcing, zero exploitation. Millions of consumers choose this brand believing they are supporting something better, but the marketing doesn't tell the whole story. In early 2024, the company had to issue a recall because its bars contained real stones, capable of breaking teeth or even choking a child. Think about it for a second. This is the brand that promises quality and ethics, charging high prices for it, but which, in practice, put consumers at risk. However, even they couldn't prevent stones from appearing in the chocolate. If a company that prides itself on doing everything right can fail so miserably at basic quality control, what does that reveal about the rest of the industry? The problem here isn't just the recall, it's the breach of trust. When you pay more for ethical chocolate, you're not just buying a treat. You're buying peace of mind. You believe that someone, somewhere, is looking out for you. But Tony's story proves that even the good guys can fail and let dangerous contaminants slip through. Imagine a young mother choosing Tony's for her daughter's birthday party, proud to support fair trade. Now imagine that same mother rushing to the emergency room because her daughter choked on a rock that should never have been there. This isn't a hypothetical scenario. It's the real risk that Tony's consumers faced. Number 4. Mondelez Cadbury. When giants stop caring. Remember when Cadbury was synonymous with quality? When that purple packaging promised perfect creaminess? I remember. But the reality today is quite different. Robert, a 74-year-old veteran from Texas who first encountered Cadbury chocolate in England in the 1970s, opened a dairy milk bar last month and found mold. It wasn't a small stain. A green fuzz covered half the bar. Mondelez, the giant that bought Cadbury, also controls brands like Oreo, Toblerone, and Ritz. They are so large they could buy entire countries. But with that size comes a cruel consequence. When you feed billions of people, individual security becomes just a statistic. Online reviews tell the real story. Now it tastes like wax. I found something strange in my bar. My Cadbury egg was rotten inside. These aren't competitors spreading lies. They're loyal customers watching their favorite brand deteriorate. The problem is scale. Mondelez transports millions of tons of chocolate across continents, and when speed and profit become priorities, mistakes not only happen, they multiply. Farmers are pressured to deliver faster and cheaper. Quality controls are rushed. Storage conditions are often compromised. And when the chocolate finally reaches your table, it has passed through a system that values efficiency, not safety. And the worst part? When Mondelez makes a mistake, the impact is enormous. It's not just an isolated shipment. It's entire containers traveling from the UK to Los Angeles, spreading risks around the world before anyone even notices. Sarah, a grandmother from Michigan, bought Cadbury eggs for Easter, as she had done for 40 years. This year, 3 of her grandchildren fell ill, with cramps, nausea, and sweating. The hospital couldn't identify the cause, but Sarah knew. The eggs had a strange, bitter, almost chemical taste. She threw the rest away, but the trust had already been broken. Number 3, Trader Joe's. The danger that lurks behind seemingly harmless labels. Trader Joe's seems different, right? Handwritten signs, friendly employees, that feeling of being in a neighborhood market, not a huge corporate chain. But not everything is as it seems. Let me tell you the story of Jennifer, a 71-year-old retired nurse who shopped there religiously. She loved dark chocolate, simple packaging, fair price, reliable brand. She would buy 5 bars at a time and keep them in the pantry to savor a square every night after dinner, until her doctor approved. Dark chocolate is good for the heart, isn't it? Then came the test results. Consumer Reports found that Trader Joe's dark chocolate bars contained dangerous levels of lead and cadmium. Not just one, but both metals. And these weren't small amounts. They were levels that exceeded California's strict safety standards, designed to especially protect the elderly and children. The most insidious thing? With Trader Joe's, you never know who actually produced the chocolate. The label is just a mask. One batch might come from Belgium, another from Ecuador, another from some unknown place. There's no consistency, no traceability, no clear accountability. In March 2024, a lawsuit accused Trader Joe's of selling chocolate without warning customers. Think about it. They knew, or should have known, about the heavy metals, but those simple, attractive packages said nothing. No warning, no precautions, just chocolate that added toxic metals to the body, slowly and silently, with every bite. Jennifer's story becomes even more worrying. After discovering the contamination, she was tested, and the lead levels were high. The doctor wasn't sure of the source, but Jennifer knew. Each square a night for 3 years meant more than 1,000 doses of contaminated chocolate. Now she faces constant fatigue, joint pain that didn't exist before, and constant worry about what these metals are doing inside her body. Number 2, Lindt, the golden packaging that hides a dark secret. Do you know that magical moment when you unwrap a Lindt truffle? The shimmering gold leaf, the smooth, perfect sphere that melts in your mouth. It's not just chocolate. It's a promise. The promise of something special, pure, worth the price. But it's a false promise. Meet Harold, an 82-year-old retired engineer. His daughter always bought him Lindt Excellence bars for birthdays and Christmas. 70%, 85%, those considered healthier. For Harold, they were symbols of care and affection. Gifts that represented his daughter's love. But tests revealed an alarming reality. Consumer Reports found that Lindt Excellence bars contained some of the highest levels of heavy metals among all brands evaluated, both lead and cadmium, in quantities that, in California, would require warning labels. This is no ordinary chocolate. It's Lindt, Swiss precision, European standards, premium price, a golden luxury that hides a silent poison. A lawsuit in New York accuses Lindt of selling dark chocolate with dangerous levels of heavy metals, while marketing it as pure and high quality. Lindt's response: lawyers claimed the quality allegations were exaggerated. In other words, we weren't promising anything real. Imagine buying gold and discovering it's just yellow dye. That's exactly what Lindt admitted. What makes this betrayal even more cruel is who trusts the brand. It's the grandmother who saves up to buy Lindt truffles as a Christmas gift. It's the husband who brings home a chocolate bar to show affection. It's the diabetic who chooses Lindt dark chocolate, thinking it's the healthiest option. Harold's daughter cried when she learned of the contamination. She wanted to take care of her father, but unknowingly, she was feeding him heavy metals, carefully wrapped in gold foil. The chocolate that should have said, "I love you," was slowly poisoning the man she loved most. The scariest part? Lindt controls its entire supply chain. They boast about it. From cocoa to shelf, everything is under their control. But what does that really mean? Either they have no idea what happens to heavy metals in their products, making all that control an illusion, or they know and still allow the chocolate to reach you. Number 1. Hershey's, the biggest betrayal in American chocolate. Now we've hit rock bottom. Hershey's isn't just a brand, it's part of American childhood. S'mores around the campfire, kisses over the candy bowl, and the streets of Hershey, Pennsylvania, called Chocolate Avenue and Cocoa Avenue. But the sweet nostalgia hides a silent danger. Meet Bet, an 85-year-old widow from Florida. Every night after dinner, she savors a square of Hershey's Special Dark. For 50 years, this was a ritual she shared with her husband. Now this sweet moment has become her connection to him. But tests by Consumer Reports revealed a shock. Hershey's Special Dark outperformed, twice the safety limit for lead in California, not just a little more, but double. Other Hershey's brands, such as Lilas Extra Dark and Scharfenberger, also exceeded the limits for lead and cadmium simultaneously. This isn't about isolated products, it's an entire chocolate empire failing on every level. Hershey's, the brand that taught Americans to love chocolate, is now teaching the American body to accumulate lead and cadmium. Last March, Consumer Reports delivered thousands of signatures to the company's headquarters, demanding action against heavy metals. Hershey's response? Vague promises, corporate language, actions without deadlines, without transparency, without a real commitment to consumer safety. Meanwhile, each day, more lead and cadmium enter their bodies. Kidneys struggle to filter the cadmium, brains become cloudy, memories fade, hands tremble, futures become obscured, and they know it. Bet has no idea that her nightly ritual, that sweet little connection with her late husband, is actually filling her aging body with neurotoxins. Her children don't know that the Hershey kisses they bring her during visits are adding to this silent burden. Her great-grandchildren, unwrapping Hershey's chocolate bars in the living room, barely realize they are starting to accumulate these toxins from an early age. This is perhaps the cruelest betrayal of all. Hershey has the money, technology, and influence to change this. They could demand cleaner grains, implement rigorous testing, review their production processes, but they chose to do nothing. Every contaminated bar on every shelf is a deliberate decision. Profit before people, quarterly earnings above health, stock prices above safety. But I'm not just here to scare you. After so much darkness, it's time to show a light at the end of the tunnel. There are chocolate companies that are trying to do things differently. They're not perfect, nobody is, but they strive to produce safer chocolate. Ghirardelli, for example, usually scores lower in heavy metal tests. Real consumers praise the clean, reliable taste. Independent laboratories confirm their dark chocolate tends to be safer. They don't make absurd health promises. They don't hide behind sophisticated marketing. They just make chocolate with less pollution. Taza chocolate is another example. Handcrafted on stone in Massachusetts, with beans sourced directly from farmers. They are completely transparent about their origins. Every year, they publish reports showing where each batch comes from and how many farmers benefited. Taza's dark chocolate consistently has low levels of heavy metals. Not zero, impossible in today's world, but safe enough for you to enjoy without fear. These companies prove one important thing. Pollution is not inevitable. It's a choice. And some brands are choosing to act responsibly. So, what can you do now? First, check the lists of recalled products. The FDA website updates this information regularly. Second, diversify your chocolate consumption. Avoid eating the same brand every day. This way, if a batch is contaminated, you minimize the risk. Third, pay attention to the cocoa percentage. The higher the percentage, the greater the potential concentration of metals. 85% can be risky. 60% is usually safer. Fourth, store the chocolate correctly. Heat and humidity can worsen contamination. Keep it cool and dry. Avoid storing it for years. And finally, speak up. Use your voice. Put pressure on companies. Comment on social media. Write to customer service. Vote with your wallet. When things stay the same, it becomes too expensive, and they change. Chocolate can still be a pleasure, but we need to demand that it be safe, ethical, and reliable. The truth we need to face together. That's what worries me as I finish this video. Right now, at this very moment, a grandfather is unwrapping a Hershey's bar for his granddaughter. A mother is buying lint for a special occasion. A health-conscious senior citizen is choosing dark chocolate for its antioxidants. They have no idea what they're really taking home, but you know now. And knowledge gives power. The power to protect yourself and those you love. The power to demand more from the companies that choose you as a customer. It's not about living in fear, but about living informed. Chocolate should bring joy, not danger. Sweetness, not illness. A treat, not a threat. If this information opened your eyes, do something about it. Click the like button. This helps the algorithm show this video to more people who need to know this. Share it with someone you love, someone who deserves to know what's really in their chocolate. Leave a comment, share your opinions, your experiences, your stories. Are you angry? Scared? Surprised? Tell me. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This is just the beginning. The food industry still holds many secrets, and you deserve to know them all. Next week, I'll reveal the truth about 5 common breakfast foods that may be harming your gut health. You won't believe what's really in your morning yogurt. Remember, every little choice matters. Every informed decision counts. Every time you choose safer chocolate, you send a clear message. Your health is worth more than their profits. Your family's safety is worth more than the price of their stock. Stay strong, stay informed, and above all, stay alert. Because if we don't take care of each other, who will? Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring. And thank you for being part of this community that refuses to accept the status quo. This is how we make a difference. Until next time.